Anybody? Okay, perfect. I'm going to ask you to raise your hand and repeat after me because I'm going to swear you in. This is a true secret. Really, it's a secret. And I can't have you speak about this outside of this room. So repeat after me. I solemnly promise that what I'm about to hear, I will only talk to with people in this room. So help me. Adelante, Mujer, Latina. Okay, now you've been sworn in, and this is a true secret. Really, it's a secret. So I was in Washington, D.C., interviewing a General Mick Kicklighter. He's a 4-star general for the U.S. Army, in charge of the U.S., west of the United States to the east of China, in the Saddam Hussein days. He was charged with going and bringing peace in the country once Saddam Hussein was taken. And so I was interviewing him, and I said, oh my goodness, after the interview, can I break bread with you and your wife tomorrow morning? I would love to take you to breakfast. And he said, no, I have a Bible study in the morning. And I said, can I come? And I'm going to stop right there because I want you to really pay attention to this if you get nothing else from today. Can I come? How many times have you wanted to ask, can I come? Can I go? Can I have one of those? Or can I please have this time? Or can you give me a little bit of time? And your little voice has said, nah, you're not smart enough, or you're not big enough, or you're not whatever enough. You fill in the blanks. How many of you have felt like that sometime? All of us have. Thank you. Absolutely. But I didn't. I said, can I come? And he stopped right there and he said, you can come. I thought, that's particular. You know, it's just a Bible study. It's not a big deal. Well, little did I know, he said, okay, show up at this place. I can't tell you the name of it because it really is a secret. And we have some videographers videotaping this. But I can tell you about the place. And I showed up at this place, and this is what it looks like. And it's a secret place. Don't touch it until I tell you the next time, because this is like a big thing. This is what this room looks like. Now, I want you to know that this is an extension of the White House, and it's across the river in Virginia. And when you look to the left of this, there's a fireplace with Mother Teresa's picture in it, with other presidents and other dignitaries that have come to visit the president. This place is where all of the presidents take the dignitaries when they come to visit, because they don't want the paparazzi to be there. That's where I found myself, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh. And this Bible study is with generals from the White House and generals from the Pentagon, some of whom I had already interviewed for my book that's coming up. And I thought, oh my goodness, this chair to the right is where the general started, where the general sat, General Kicklighter. He's the one that started this Bible study in the Pentagon, and he was asked to move it because too many people were coming, so he moved it to this place. So I got to go there because I asked, can I come, right? Even though I felt a little uncomfortable, had I even known, who knows? But I got to go there. 2 months ago, I called the general and I said, I'm going to be in Washington, D.C., and I would love to come to the Bible study. He said, okay. He says, I'm not going to be there. One more time, I said, can I come anyway? And he sent me a note, and the note said, Dear Betty, you are a friend for life and beyond, and you have a carte blanche to this such and such place for life. You don't even need to ask, you just show up. So next week I'm going to be in this place, and I'm just showing up. I'm not even asking next week, but guess what? So he said that I could come, so I went. And I showed up, and I'm talking to all the generals, and they're like, oh my gosh, Betty, it's so nice to see you and all of this. And so I walked in, and I'm walking by, we're all getting ready to sit down to do this Bible study, and I walked right by the general's chair, and I said, I'm not touching that chair. I'm just walking right by. And they said, oh, no. You get to sit in the general's chair. I want you to remember this moment. always, for the rest of your life, I want you to remember this moment. Because you get to sit in the chair. You get to sit in the chair. You get to sit in the chair. You, every single one of you gets to sit in the chair. And all it takes is an education. All it takes is that golden key. And all it takes is a lot of hard work. And the sacrifices that your parents are already making for you are going to be realized in you, because each and every one of you gets to sit in that chair. Now, I'm going to show you some other things that I've been able to do. Go ahead, baby. At that Bible study, they asked for prayer. And I said, you know, I'm writing this book, and my book is all about values. I want to inject values back into heads of state around the country. And I want to inject values into CEOs and into students of leadership. I'm donating 50% of the proceeds of this book to give scholarships. In fact, in next month I'm going to Africa, where I started to donate scholarships for kids in Africa already. And my goal is to give 100 scholarships in each continent. Everybody has to sign a contract that they're going to pay it forward, because my legacy is going to live beyond me. And so I said to the generals, can you pray for this, because I really want to get this. One of the generals took me to lunch, true story, and he said, you know what, Betty, you have access. I said, well, I need to get these into heads of state from all the countries. I'm giving 100 scholarships in each continent by the time I'm 80. And I'm a little bit older, so I don't have that much time. I mean, if you think about it, 700 scholarships, full scholarships to college is a lot, right? And so he said, Betty, you have access. And I said, really? He said, yes. When the dignitaries and the heads of state from all over the world come to visit the President of the United States, we are the ones that host them. So we're going to get your book in the hands of every dignitary and every heads of state from around the world when they come visit. That happened because of the golden key, and that golden key happened because of the education. Don't ever forget that. But there's more. It doesn't stop there, and I'm just going to give you a real quick highlight. To the left, I'm standing with Maria Contreras-Sweet. She's the head of the Small Business Administration in Washington, D.C. She was actually recruiting me for a position in D.C. at the time, and this was just a few months ago. In the middle is, and I carry this with me all the time because this was my father's transportation company that I inherited. Had I not had the education, I would not have been bold enough as a woman to go to Colombia and to take over my father's transportation company, and to shake hands with everybody and to say, you know, I am Betty Rengifo, and I'm my father's daughter, and I'm gonna take care of everything. So that's what I did. To the right, President Uribe, I went and got VIP treatment from the president of my own country as a delegate for all of the Colombians in the United States. And then bottom right, yes, I'm holding on to our governor. Got somebody to take my picture. But I've been able to be with the governor. And then here to the left, I visited China. And at that time, I was a keynote speaker for an event for the Women's Maple Society. For their 20th year anniversary, I was a keynote speaker. And right there, I'm sitting in the middle to the right. See if you see, I had a light suit on. Can you see it? A light pantsuit on. After I spoke, I was given a copy of the program from the previous year, from their 19th year anniversary. And lo and behold, I look and there's a picture, an identical picture like that. And who was sitting in the keynote spot? Hillary Clinton was the keynote speaker the year before for their 19th year. And I got to be the keynote speaker for their 20th year. To the life lesson. The life lesson is know exactly what you want and don't give up until you actually get it. So this picture shows you commitment. Yes, that is me in that picture. And if you think about it, the centrifugal force should have pushed me down. But it didn't, because there was a level of commitment. to staying up there. And that's what it takes sometimes. Getting a doctorate isn't easy, and if it was easy, everybody would do it. But that golden key, let me tell you, it was absolutely worth it. Because the people I've been able to touch around the world have been amazing, and God is amazing, and I know that He's going to take me to places where I can touch billions around the world. Okay. So I have a question for you. What did you want to be? When I was little, I chose this tiara because my mother used to call me La Reina de la Belleza. My mother told me, the beauty queen, she told me that I was super intelligent, and she told me that I could do anything I wanted to do. It doesn't matter. And you guys, I didn't speak English at the age of 12. And I cleaned houses and babysat, and I was a housekeeper. I raised my little brother. So we can all do it. It just takes ganas, and it takes a lot of effort, and it just takes a lot of work. But that's it, and anybody can do it. Any one of you can do it. So what do you want to be? All right, go ahead. I want to tell you what my values are. God, go ahead. Family, just keep going, baby. Family, that's my 2 daughters here, and my Aunt Ruby, the one that taught me etiquette. And my son over there to the right, upper right with my brother to his right. My son is 30 years old. Yes, I was 12 when I had him. Don't believe that. At the bottom right-hand corner is a hospital. Okay, you guys, knock it off. Okay, so I'm older. All right, so at the bottom right-hand side is a hospital that broke down in the Sichuan earthquake. Many years ago, 7 years ago, when I was in China, I visited and I took 3,000 letters to the kids that lost their parents. And I visited this hospital, so I was able to get there, and then to the bottom left. And so, community. So God, family, job is California Bank and Trust, education, health. This is Alex and I at the last Pepperdine 5K, the Pepperdine Coastal Run. So yes, I still run a 5K. And community. These are my values. All right, so I'm going to leave you with some thoughts. These are Dr. Betty's top 10. And these are my pieces of advice to you. And if you want to get copies, I'm going to show you how to get copies of everything so that you can get some copies. But go ahead and go one by one real quick. Know your values. You know what my values are. God, family, job, education, health, and community. In that order. That's how I live my life. Know your values. Know what's important to you. Go ahead. Protect your brand. Your brand, like Nike, just do it. Well, what's your brand? My brand is she's a woman of integrity. She's a woman who wants to make a difference. I'm here to make an impact for you, and I'm here to make an impact in this earth. That's my brand. Find your own voice. Don't try to mimic somebody else. It's okay to be who you are. You want to be who you are. Don't try to be somebody else. So find your own voice. Seek out champions. I've had mentors all my life. In fact, I have some mentees in the audience today. Make sure that you seek out champions, or somebody that will stake their reputation on you. A teacher, a professor, a prospective employer. Seek out champions. Inspire others to be their very best. How do you inspire people? By your actions and your way of being. Don't ever, ever, ever forget where you came from. And reach back and bring others with you. Trust your instincts. Don't do what I did. And I'm going to tell you something that I've never spoken about before. There was a room, and I went into this room, and I found myself being molested by a relative. Over a third of the women are raped. Those are the statistics. So for every 3 of you, 1 of you will be. I didn't follow my instincts. And I found myself in a room, in a very bad position, with somebody that I trusted. I didn't follow my instincts. That's why I put that there. You know in your heart of hearts when things are going to go wrong, when things are awry, and when maybe you just feel like obligated. I felt obligated to walk in. Don't do it. Follow your instincts. Follow your inner voice. Be in gratitude. I get up every morning and I say, thank you, God. You know, your life changes. Your attitude changes. The view of life changes when you are in gratitude for everything you have. So live a life of gratitude. Listen to others' actions. Talk is cheap. People will tell you, oh, I love you so much, but if their actions don't show that, if they're not congruent, then don't take that as their word. Listen, I always say listen to the actions, don't listen to the words. And finally, lead with a higher purpose. Whatever your purpose is in your life, that's what you want to lead with. So I'm going to leave you with a couple of quotes. Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to wait just a minute if you want to take a picture of this so you can have it. All right? Okay. Go ahead. No? Okay, go back. All right. I'll post this on my Facebook if you want, and then you can take a picture of it on my Facebook, all right? So I'm going to post some things for you. So I'm going to leave you with a couple quotes. Go ahead. When your actions align with your values, your decisions will always be right. So keep that to yourself. Take a picture, or I can post it again. And one of the things I posted also was, I posted the next saying in social media, and that is, God is my GPS. And it's something that I just live with. Go ahead, baby. There's a letter, if you want to know, this is the end of my story, but if you want to know a deeper part of my story, my daughter Sandra, who's 19 years old, and she's in school, she wrote this letter to me. I'm not going to read the letter to you because it's a 5-page letter and I've been given a limited amount of time, but it walks through what her life was like, me growing up. And mothers, you want to read this letter. And girls, you want to read this letter. So I'm going to, if you want to get a copy of the letter, I will send it to you. Just send me a note on LinkedIn, and my hashtag on everything is hashtag Dr. Betty Uribe. Thank you so much. I hope that I've been able to inspire you. And you too can.
Adelante, Mujer. Can we get another round of applause, please? Thank you, girls. That was beautiful. Thank you, Dr. Uribe, once again. And now, ladies, we have a very special treat for you. If you didn't already know, I'm sure that after this performance, you'll agree that poetry and spoken word are artistic and powerful forms of expression. These two young ladies will prove that to be true. Together, they are the Latina feminist collective, Chingona Fire. Please welcome Aguirre and Yesika Salgado.
Latina, and I actually sat where you were sitting when I was in high school, and I didn't ever picture myself on the stage here. And this is a full circle moment for me because I truly believe that this conference honors the multidimensionality and the complexity of what it means to be a Latina today. And all of you got to see different Latinas in different forms and got to appreciate that. And I want to introduce you to a word that you probably already know. That word is Chingona. Who knows that word? So if you don't know what Chingona means a badass woman. Raise your hand if you're a badass. That's what I like to hear. I am one half of the group Chingona Fire. I'm going to bring out my partner in a minute. She's going to do some poems for you too. But I want to start by congratulating you all for being here and thanking all of the Chingonas who gave presentations and everybody who's here today, because you all, in my eyes, are Chingonas. This is called Chingona Magic. Chingona Magic is a revolutionary act. An act of resistance. It is as much about lipstick as it is about fighting the patriarchy. Chingona Magic is the ability to convey an entire message with your eyebrows alone. It is switching from Spanish to English mid-conversation. It is correcting the pronunciation of graceful words on lazy tongues. Chingona Magic is running for office and applying for college. It is loving yourself and refusing to apologize for your existence. It is raising your voice when others try to silence it. To be a Chingona means you don't usually need help, but you also aren't afraid to ask for it when you do. It is cruising down Whittier Boulevard in your own lowrider, bumping Selena and rocking the darkest shade of lipstick you own. It is showing up to work every day to a job you love because Chingonas don't settle. To be a Chingona means you have your own. And I don't mean car, house, or business yet, but you own something inside yourself that cannot be taken from you. You own your Chingona Magic. It is the reason you survive, not because of luck, but because the fire within you burns brighter than the one around you. It is the intimacy of chisme around the kitchen table, the sharing of stories that do not belong with us for women who do. It is the pouring of wine into glasses that will be sipped by lips who have been betrayed. It's the roast that follows. The girl who was never good enough for you anyway. Chingona Magic is communal. It is self-care on Sunday nights and feasting a meeting on Monday morning. Chingona Magic is mystical and ancient, like rosary beads y la Santa Maria. Like the protection of Oshun and Yamaya, it is the writing of poems and the sharing of them with strangers. It is believing in a power greater than yourself. Chingona Magic tastes like simmered onion and garlic, like the recipe passed down to you from generations, not sweet, but savory, like the foundation of every home-cooked meal. Thank you. Speak to the Chingona in all of you. It was created to honor the multidimensionality of what it means to be a woman of color. And it is the woman in me taking the woman in you by the hand, not to lead or to follow, but to stand next to you and remind you that you're not alone. My last poem is a true story, and it's called Boobs versus Brains. In college, I was asked by a new counselor what my major was. And as I stood there in a crop top and denim shorts, I answered rhetoric, which is the art of using language to communicate effectively. And he looked at me through condescending eyes, almost as if I had just told him a joke he didn't quite catch the punchline to. Through a half-curled smile and a vacant attempt at holding back a laugh, he looked me up and down and said, rhetoric. I would have guessed fashion. He began to stumble over his words as I continued to look at him sideways, digging himself into a deeper hole. I just figured that, such a pretty girl would be more interested in more feminine things. And I stopped myself. I could have lunged at him. I could have grabbed the envelope opener off of his desk, held it to his throat, allowed the words to run from mine, jump out of my mouth at him and say, what the hell is that supposed to mean? But I didn't. I simply stood there in passive compliance and let him finish signing off on my grad check. My mother always told me that you don't bite the hand that feeds you. What you do is wait until you're full and then you burn down the kitchen. So I asked him for clarification, what exactly do you mean by feminine? And the details of his answer are about as relevant as his identity. See, he had no idea what he even meant. The intentions of that comment were probably lost somewhere between patriarchy and a pathetic attempt at trying to hit on someone half his age. Not being taken seriously at first glance is something I've dealt with my whole life. Girls who flaunt cleavage, makeup, and heels are often expected to be just that and nothing more. But the truth is, I have always been more brains than boobs. And because of this, I have learned that expectations are sharp, which is why I am always out to prove a point. The same men who wouldn't think twice about looking at us in lust would think twice before they ever actually listen to what we have to say. The problem with that is, I've always been a little larger than the average woman, so their expectations never quite fit me. They were always too small. See, I wear my womanhood proud. I wear ball gown, lipstick, mascara, and blush. Do not ask me to tone that down so that your life can make more sense. That does not take away from my work as a teacher, activist, or poet. Do not ask me to tone that down so that your life can make more sense. I will not be less me so that you can feel more comfortable being more you. I will not play small to serve you or your assumptions of what hobbies I should have simply because I'm wearing a skirt today and looking damn good in it. As women, we are given two options, brains or beauty, as if the two are mutually exclusive, but the idea that femininity somehow robs us of the capacity to critically think is nothing more than a delusion conjured up by men who are threatened by our ability to balance the two. As women, we own the right to be fly. Patent is no longer pending, we invented the concept. It is how we rule, how we write, and how we live, graceful like the wind in our hair, fierce like single mothers. We are the iron fists in the silk gloves, the AK-47s plated in gold. We are grenades that explode with the scent of cocoa butter. We harness equal to men, the amount of strength needed to even rebuild mankind or keep it begging and sobbing for mercy on its knees before us. The only difference is, when we go to war, we make it look good. And the other half of Chingona Fire is Yesika Salgado. Give her a hand. How's everybody doing? Good. I'm glad to hear that. So I'm one half of Chingona Fire. Chingona Fire, we're a collective, two poets, and we put on events to celebrate Chingonas. And Chingonas is everybody in this room, everybody that made all this magic happen. So clap for yourselves. So I'm going to share a couple of ground zero poems with you. Can I do that? I'm a Salvadorian and I'm bilingual, so I like writing about that. So I do most of my writing in English. You see, Papi never liked us speaking in Spanglish. If you ever heard us studying the language from across the room, he would yell, spit it out. But sometimes in a poem, I'll slip on my Spanish, and it'll feel like I'm wearing my mother's wedding gown, but Mommy didn't marry in a church, didn't have a big pretty dress, and instead what she wore was a two-piece suit, buried in an office somewhere. My sisters and I were the witnesses, and we all ate at a pizzeria nearby before heading home. This is Spanish to me. Everything that should be but quite isn't is like coming home, and all the furniture is different. Then there's English, and everything is painted in its color. Think of that gray that settles in around dusk. That is English. Sometimes I know the words, what they feel and taste like, but when I go to reach for one, I mess it all up. I laugh, turning red in the face. I blame the Spanish. It came first. It is home. Papi would drink, and after drinking, he would talk. It was usually in English. It was a brown crumpled bag. I begged him, háblame en español, Papi, but he would refuse. You see, it was usually a lecture full of things, and my home only came in English. But whenever he was happy, he would call me to him, ven aquí, corazón. And I would go. Papi was Papi, or Apá, or Viejo, or sometimes even Papa, but never Father. I say that for the poems about his drinking, about my angry hurt, about how far away it pushed me. I don't write about that in Spanish. Things are too real in that language, so I keep it for love songs or for boys who have no idea what I'm saying, but they think it sounds beautiful when I whisper things like mi vida, mi amor, mi cielo, mi rey, my fingers and their hair and their head on my lap, and I'm talking and talking, pouring all these pretty things my mother used to say to me when I was still small enough to be held. So I guess what I'm saying is that Spanish is a feeling, a squeeze, an ache, a corner of myself I can't seem to quite get to. And English, well, English isn't so much of an action, so much of a feeling, but an action. It's like a dance that I know all the steps to, but still feel awkward dancing. Una vez cuando tenía 16 años me enamoré de un muchacho. Y él habla mis dos idiomas, pero la primera vez que me besó, yo entendí que aunque yo piense en inglés, mi cuerpo responde en español, y pues yo no sé cómo traducir eso. Mi papá siempre me dijo un idioma a la vez, y así me había pasado cambiando de idiomas como que si fueran zapatos, un par a la vez. I'm always only wearing one language at a time, and I will spend the rest of my life trying to learn how to write about everything I've lost, we've lost, in translation. Thank you. I have one more poem for you, and I want you, if anything, if you walk away from hearing both myself and Angela's, go home and write. Write your story, because if you don't tell it, everybody else will tell it for us. Okay? I want to see so many new brown women writers out there, so many chingonas telling their story, doing poems everywhere, so that everywhere you go, we can find each other, right? Right. All of my poems are about love. All of my poems are about some boy. All of my poems are about my fact. All of my poems are about my parents. All of my poems are about my Spanish, my El Salvador, my English, my Los Angeles, my pre-gentrification Silver Lake, my Echo Park before the food trucks and yoga parties, my belly swinging by the vegan restaurants, my double chin laughing in overpriced coffee shops, my minimum wage paycheck, my staying too long in too many places, my poor taste in men, my online dating, my bad dates, my ex-boyfriends and their girlfriends, my niece and her laughter, my niece and her questions, my niece and her little hands pressed against my face, my niece and her hands wet with the tears on my face, my depression, my secret sadness, my ocean always asking for my body, my anxiety whispering my name at the nape of my neck, my hands and how they listened and slammed against my body, and how no one ever saw the bruises because no one ever saw my body. All my poems are about my brown girl body. Everyone has an opinion about this body. I have to fight to love it every day. Body, my big, fat, beautiful body. My red lipstick hair, my red lipstick smile, my curly Salvadorian hair. My curly Salvadorian hair, my mommy's hair, and my hair, oh my mommy, my papi, my drunk and angry papi, my papi yelling out my name in the middle of the night, my papi and his belt against my skin, my papi's belt and how it whistled in the air before finding my skin, my long nights counting his snorts, my grieving him 10 years before he died, my watching him die, my exhale when he died, my life after he died, my good life after he died, my guilt, my grief. All of my poems are about my parents, my hard-working immigrant parents, my hardly any English parents, my Saturday afternoon listening to Caleb parents, my early Sunday morning mass parents, my sisters and I in our prettiest dresses. Oh, my sisters, my first friends, my first saviors, my first lesson in getting the hell over it, my singing at the top of their lungs as the mommy yells, shut the hell up, this isn't a musical, sisters, there's been an earthquake, somebody better go check on Yesika, sisters, no one gets it like you do, sisters. All of my poems are about love, the times, all of my poems are about love, the times that came in floods, the years that I forgot what it was. All of my poems are collection plates. I fill and fill and fill. I have yet to come up empty. I don't think I ever will. Thank God for my poems, for how they always find me, for my heart that believes them, and these hands that always receive them. Thank you, Chingonas. Have a good day.
Wow. Please give Angela and Yesika a big round of applause. All right, Chingonas, have you had a great day? I know, I'm going to call myself that. First of all, I want to thank Pasadena City College for graciously hosting us again this year, giving you a taste of what it's like to be a student on a college campus. This conference has grown bigger and better over the years, and for that we can thank our advisory board members who worked for months planning, recruiting, and organizing today's event. Thanks to our sponsors for recognizing, thank you, for recognizing that this conference is an investment in you, our youth. You truly are the future of this country, and we owe the success of this conference to our amazing workshop presenters who volunteer their time to share their own college and career journeys so that you can learn from them and develop a clear path for your bright future. And that's what is so unique about Adelante. We also want to give thanks to all of our volunteers who worked so hard to make this the best conference for you. And thanks to all of your parents, teachers, administrators for making sure that you made it here today to be inspired, to challenge yourself and learn about the many opportunities that await you. And last, but certainly not least, thanks to all of you young ladies for making the decision, yes, give yourself a hand, for making the decision to invest in yourself and in your future and attending this conference today. And of course, thanks to Adelante Youth Alliance. And now to another Chingona right here.
Have you had a great day? So I'd like to acknowledge my dedicated staff. They're probably somewhere. Jose Madera, ¿dónde estás? Christian Madera. All the work they've done to make this conference a success for you. I also want to thank our 2016 conference chair, Claudia Fletes Martinez. Give her a hand. So thank you so much for joining us today. We look forward to 2017. Please email us your Adelante stories, and we'll post them on Tumblr. Or you post them on Tumblr. Okay, thank you so much and have a great day.